Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of the Nerd Variety Podcast. I am your host, Hannah, and I'm joined by other hosts, Hunter.
With the most.
And Josh.
Oh, hey, what's up?
This
And
week.
hey, hi. Sorry,
Hi.
I forgot to
Yes,
say
hello.
that.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Sorry. This week, I want to talk a little bit about video games. Specifically, I want to know if there are any games that you guys play that are sort of outside your normal comfort zone. Because I've been sort of delving outside of my comfort zone with some games recently and had a lovely time. And I would encourage anyone who is listening who plays video games to do the same, especially if they're free or cheap. Because why not?
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Expand your horizon.
Yeah, because games are great, and I like them.
Mini games.
Mini games or many games?
Many.
Both?
Manny.
Manny and Minnie.
Okay. Many games are great.
Quite a few games are great.
A plethora of games are outstanding.
Several.
Yes.
So what I wanted to ask you guys, first of all, is do you feel like you have a type of game that you play? Because I feel like I'm pretty versatile, but there are also specific types of games I definitely don't play.
You're asking me what's my type?
Yeah, exactly.
That is what I'm asking, Josh. You caught me. So
Well,
tell us, Josh.
Yeah, Josh.
You know, I'm not too demanding. You know, I like a nice, first person or third person shooter. You know, just
knew it.
Run of the mill. Yeah, you know me, Hunter.
I do know you. Halo is like your franchise of choice.
What? I've never talked about Halo before. I'm also fond of fighting games. I also like some role playing games. I'm a fantasy type. Find those relaxing and I like exploring new worlds.
Okay, so are you talking about things like Skyrim?
Skyrim, the Pokemon.
You never
games.
played Skyrim.
Okay, because to me, Skyrim is like sort of a weird juxtaposition of a role-playing game and a first-person shooter, but like a fantasy one. Because it's a similar sort of. I mean, it's like open world sort of thing. It's first person or third person.
I mean, it's an RPG. It's an open world RPG.
Yeah. But it definitely.
It's
I feel
only
like
a shooter. It's only a shooter if you choose to use a bow, which you always should.
That's true. I do.
Because I was again. I mentioned I was just going through another playthrough. I realized my archery skill is like. I don't know if it's high. It's probably I don't remember what's high anymore in that game. It's like in the 60s.
Yeah.
Pretty high.
I was like,
it's like, and then it comes in handy if you realize, I should have had some archery perks because you have an enemy like way far away and you don't have a shout or a magical that can harm them.
I'm just not confrontational.
Shoot them somehow.
Rather shoot someone in the head before they can say anything.
Yeah, I'm not the type of person to be like, here I come with my giant axe. Yeah, that's not really my personality.
That's what I'm currently doing, just using axes and giant swords.
Yeah.
I've tried, and it's fun, but
it is.
I have a hard time with it because I'm like, I just don't want them to see me. Just snipe them in the head, we're good.
I mean,
I feel like if you're into first-person shooters, sorry.
No, sorry.
I feel like if you're into first-person shooters, it's not unrealistic that you would also be into Skyrim, because I feel like they.
Yeah, with the switching back and forth because
I feel like it doesn't feel like too much of a stretch.
Yeah, you're switching, going back and forth between swords.
Yeah.
Some projectile weapons and magic.
I feel like Portal is actually the same way. Like if you're into first-person shooters, that Portal is kind of like your gateway into puzzle games.
I mean.
Yeah.
I guess.
I don't know.
I can I guess I can see it a little bit. If you want another gateway from first-person shooter to puzzle games or from first-person shooter to Portal, probably playing Half-Life and then Portal will ease you in a little better.
And I'm not super familiar with the Half-Life games, so
yeah.
I think I have them on my computer. I just never played them. I should do that.
The newest one that's only VR is the reason I want a VR all of a sudden.
Oh, yeah. Half-Life Alyx.
Yeah, I've heard great things about it.
It looks really cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, not the point.
Yeah, sorry.
So Josh is mostly into first-person shooter, open-world adventure kind of
Yeah,
RPG
fantasy.
kind of stuff.
Yeah, fantasy stuff, but also like stage mission type games, like some of the like in the Crash and Spyro franchises.
Okay, so sort of like a, I want to call that like a 3D platformer sort of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all
That's
right.
what it is.
Cool.
Mm.
Hunter?
Well, Hannah, I'm kind of like you. I do like a plethora of genres.
We're the real gamers.
Yeah, we're the real gamers. Josh is
I'm
here.
just kidding, Josh. I'm just kidding, Josh.
Excuse me, I'll leave now.
No.
Okay, good. Mute. No, sorry. No, yeah, I like a large variety. There are some though that I will probably say I generally just tend to avoid, or I generally tend to not get into as much. And that's usually. I have my Steam library open on my other screen, so I'm trying to look real quick.
Good.
Sometimes that's isometric games. I have in the past had a hard time getting into. Some of those really deep, intricate RPG games I always want to enjoy, but if they're really deep and complicated, I have a hard time getting into those.
Can you give an example?
Yeah, so one that I was just looking at is Vampire. Is it Vampire? Yeah, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. I kept hearing about it on stuff like YouTube videos, I think, and I really wanted to get into it because it sounds good, but it's so slow, and you really have to just be prepared to immerse yourself in something like that, and it's just I couldn't get into it. But yeah, stuff like that has layers upon layers of stuff.
I feel kind of similar about, or I feel like a sort of similar thing would be a lot of JRPGs.
Yeah.
So like the Persona games are pretty complex. There's a lot going on in those. I'm playing Fire Emblem right now, and I've logged like 20 hours in the game, and I'm pretty sure I don't know what I'm doing. Because it's just like there's a lot of finesse to them, I think.
And I don't know if this is the same thing. It's probably not really, but I guess maybe what would you call it? Like maybe tangent to it or something. I don't know.
Sure.
Have you heard of is it Vambrace?
I have not heard of that.
Cold something. I don't remember exactly. I have it. It was on Game Pass, so I have it on my Xbox. But that's another one where it's like it's kind of slow, and the way things work, it feels very involved, and I just couldn't get into it. So, yeah, it's the things I guess to answer the actual question instead of beating around the bush constantly and talking about everything else. I like games that are generally more easily accessible, that kind of get you going soon. And that can be a lot of genres.
Sure.
Yeah, first-person shooters, third-person shooters, cover-based shooters, which a lot of times those won't match up.
So you're not into the games where like
RPGs I love. Usually RPGs are my go-to, but action RPGs.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, so you don't like things. I've been playing a game recently with my husband, and we played together for, I don't know, I want to say a good couple of hours, like eight hours maybe, and then we finally realized that like we had stopped getting instructions. Like we're like, oh, we finally made it out of tutorial land. They're not giving us like things to do anymore. We have to kind of figure out where to go from here. But it took like 8 hours. We're like, oh, okay, now we've completed. And it's an open world sort of thing. So like maybe we probably could have done it faster, but we didn't want to. But it was still just like, oh, 8 hours later, we're done with the tutorial. Cool.
Vambrace Cold Soul is the game I was thinking of.
Gotcha.
So I did get the name partly right.
Hold on. I got Vambrace.
Yes.
It just sounds like
it's weird. That's why
it just sounds like a dirty vampire novel. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it does. And I haven't played enough to know what it's about.
Like
vampire erotica.
Yeah, like we combine the words vampire and embrace.
Yeah.
This is like,
it's weird.
Yeah, apparently Hunter's in some different kinds of games.
You have no idea.
I feel like
you haven't seen my library that has the
I don't wanna,
what is it? It's like the KFC dating game or something. The dating sim.
I love that game. I've never played it, but I think it's so brilliant. Do you know what we're talking about, Josh?
No. I do.
KFC made a dating sim that you could get for free on Steam, where you could date the Colonel, and he was like this like young,
like
sexy Colonel,
anime Colonel.
And I'm like, it's so brilliant. It's so brilliant. Like, if you're trying to bring your advertising into the 21st century, like, that's the way to do it. I just think it's amazing.
Oh no.
But the whole thing was like a joke about itself also. It was so good. I love it.
I don't know if I would play this. I don't even know if I could watch someone play it. It's a little weird. It's a little weird for me.
It is weird. It is weird, but I love it for what it is. Yeah. It's good. Yeah. I don't feel like I have a pretty broad range of games that I enjoy as well. I feel like if I was going to give myself a main category of like, if you could only play one type of video game for the rest of your life, it would be like a fantasy RPG kind of thing. That's definitely what I gravitate towards the most. But I love, platformers and puzzle games and first person shooters, and like I'll play Doom occasionally, So I like a good bit of stuff, but there are definitely specific categories that I'm not as into. The first main one being like sports games.
Yeah.
Like I met someone recently who was like, "Oh yeah, I like video games," and I was like, "What kind?" And they were like, Madden, and I'm like, "Yeah, we have nothing to talk about."
Yeah, I think I just had
like,
a conversation with someone about that the other day, and it's like, yeah. Oh no, actually, it was kind of similar, but no,
maybe
it wasn't.
If they had a game about baseball, I could kind of understand what was going on, but
they do.
I'm sure they do, but
I think they do.
Yeah, I don't think they get much traction with baseball games or Major League Baseball games, like maybe like not like they used to they release them. But Madden and 2K are very hot commodities every year.
And you get FIFA. FIFA as well. Very, very popular.
Yeah. It's just a different type of a gameplay. A lot of people think the games like I find myself. I guess it's a thing where I haven't given myself enough time to try it out. But a lot of people look at the games like that and they think, oh, it's too complex, or and the genre's not what you're used to, and you kind of want your escape, and that's what you can. So you go to your choice games.
And I feel like especially the NFL ones, or the Madden ones, I guess is what they're. To me, just the idea of it always feels like, well, you'll probably enjoy it if you're into football, which I'm not particularly.
I feel like it's just a different kind of nerdiness, because I feel like there's the type of nerdiness that I feel like we're all in, which is this sort of sci-fi fantasy, that kind of stuff, and we like to watch those sorts of things, and we like to play video games based on them, and maybe we'll even play D&D, and the sports equivalent is go to watch sports. We'll go watch sports, play Madden, and then like the deepest realms of sport nerdiness, in my opinion, is like fantasy football.
I was gonna say
I mean, it's basically D&D for jocks, right?
Yeah.
Like
I don't know why they don't have an actual like board game.
Right. Yeah. So that's one type that I don't really play, and I'm also not really into horror games, just because I'm a little bit of a wuss.
I was gonna say that too.
Scared.
A lot of times horror games I don't really get into, but it could be that I just never gravitated in particularly towards trying them a lot.
I feel like my biggest thing is I know myself pretty well, go figure, and I know that like I'll get relatively scared during a game, but like good chance I'll have nightmares for like a week or so afterwards and like not be able to sleep, and I'm like, is it worth it? I don't know. I don't think so.
I hate the idea that I feel like they're attacking me personally whenever they do jump scares, or they
Yeah.
you know put me in a situation by myself where I have no help and I have to figure things out with little to no clues.
You'd probably
But
not like Five Nights at Freddy's.
But I guess it's this thing of just enjoying the thrill of it, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, and I'm okay with games that have like some more jump scary type things, but it's like I don't know. I'm trying to think of an example. I don't know. Sometimes games like linger. Like mentally they're kind of stressful and
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like
I
like
just
there's
keep
games
wanting.
where like you're kind of at a constantly elevated like
I
tension
keep
level.
thinking of
Bring it down,
games
bring it
that I
down,
want to
bring it down.
suggest to you for that, like Layers of Fear.
Oh,
I
yeah.
started that recently.
See, even when I watch other people play horror games, which I do really love, I usually watch them like with one hand on my like volume control and the other hand on my spacebar. I'm like, I'm ready to turn down the volume or pause it if anything happens. I'm like, but I enjoy them in my own weird sort of way, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like watching a horror movie, you know, because
Yeah.
you're watching them, you know, die or do the
Mhm.
become scared.
Yep. So, what are some games that normally fall outside the realms of what you like that you have been playing either recently or played in the past and really enjoyed, or anything like that? We'll go back to Josh. I guess we're going in a circle.
Sure,
Who,
that works.
me?
Yeah.
Sure.
No, the other Josh. He's the one that's not on the meeting right now. Never
Just
mind.
Alright.
Go on.
All right, Winter, all right.
Ignore me as usual.
I'll try. I back in the day, I never thought I'd play Grand Theft Auto. And it's funny because it is an open world game, and it's kind of an open world
That's on
kind of
my list.
sandbox RPG, kind of RPG-ish
Mhm.
game. But it was just kind of, you know, I guess I heard so many bad things about it, of how, like, you know, how much controversy it caused. And
I'm sorry, which one? I stopped paying attention for a second.
Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto. Yes.
Yes.
5 is good.
Yeah. And the same thing with like similar game would be the Mafia games, specifically Mafia 2. I you know, just thought about it. I was like, I'm playing as a criminal, playing as a bad guy in a game, and I don't want to do that. I'm usually the good guy, you know. I don't want to, you know, kill people and, you know, steal things and stuff. But yeah, it's also kind of like I had to kind of realize it's more about, you know, the escape and just being able to do what you want in a game and just enjoying like different scenarios. And it's just different. And it's also like more, I guess, more complex gameplay that I'm used to. I'm not used to, and I know you like stealth games where you can use stealth and stuff. I don't like using stealth. I like, you know,
Stealth.
yeah, I like being able to run
Guns a-blazing kind of
Yeah,
person.
I'm so
yeah.
bad at stealth, but I love it.
I am Leroy Jenkins all day, every day.
You don't even know that reference. You're not allowed to use it unless you play World of Warcraft.
Well, I think the reference is dated, so I will use it as I please.
I didn't get it, so
It's World
I
of
still thought
Warcraft.
it was fun.
It's okay. So it's several years old. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun exploring
Before
the
your
world,
time.
and getting a chance to you know, drive vehicles around, steal things, get into just ridiculous scenarios. Some friends and I were playing, and we're just trading off the controller based off, you know, after we get caught by the cops or after we die in some wild fashion. So
yeah, I'm gonna jump in here because that's on my list too.
cool.
Grand Theft Auto 5, and I think part of what I really enjoyed about it, we were playing it pretty religiously for a while there. I think one of my favorite things about it was the multiplayer aspect, because I was playing with my husband and my brother and his wife, and we were all like going on missions together and hanging out. And I did really enjoy like kind of just exploring this city with them and getting to understand the game. And I actually really enjoyed some of the physics because I'm a nerd in that sort of way, with like being able to feel how like different cars handle.
Yeah.
I was like, I thought that was really interesting.
It's
I'm like, that's cool.
They put some care and some consideration in what we're doing here.
But it's like totally not was something that, like, the closest I've ever gotten to playing Grand Theft Auto before that is like Mario Kart. So like car games and racing games are not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
But I genuinely really enjoyed that one for lots of different reasons. So although I'm still terrible at flying airplanes.
How many people did you kill, Hannah?
Many.
Oh, okay.
And many just because I could. Just because I had a gun and I was like,
Well, I'm in it this far, you know, might as well.
I don't remember one time I like punched a
Normal.
lady who was standing outside my apartment and she was like, ow, what the heck? And then I turn around and like 30 seconds later, there's paramedics and they're like, well, there goes another one. I'm like, I punched her and she complained about it. Like,
Oh,
what
yeah.
happened?
They are so wimpy.
There's a
She's
love
like,
tap.
complained
Come
about
on.
being punched and then died. I was like, okay, all right,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Did you have any other examples, Josh?
Well, actually, I was thinking of one, not to target Hunter over there, but not
I'm
intentionally.
targeted.
Yeah, you're targeted. But Minecraft was also on my list. Yeah,
I love
yeah,
Minecraft.
yeah.
Still
Hunter, you should
can't.
try-
Still can't do Minecraft.
You should try Minecraft. Everyone's playing it. Everyone's been playing it for the last 10 years, and you should play too.
Well,
Yeah.
so let's do this.
Join the collective.
I'm gonna now be like a debate facilitator here. Hunter, why do you think you won't like Minecraft?
Well, I know I tried it when a long time ago, I guess. I don't remember when exactly. Sometime in high school, I think. I don't know. It's part of that thing where it's so directionless. Which, I mean, I understand the appeal of that to an extent, but I was like, I'm not given anything. I have no idea what to do or how to do anything.
Yeah.
That's the same reason, like, I guess it's similar, but on a, not necessarily a smaller scale. Maybe it is, but a different scale. Terraria was free or it was on Game Pass or something. I tried that too. And like, you know, I enjoy like 2D platforming stuff, but it was like, I'm not having fun. It feels like there's too much stuff that you have to just figure out on your own. And just...
Yeah, it's been interesting because Patrick and I have been watching Markiplier play Minecraft on YouTube, and he's basically like refusing to look anything up. And so with Patrick and I both being pretty much Minecraft veterans, right? We're like, oh my god, he doesn't know how to do anything. And like he made a brewing stand and has no idea how to make potions, and there's no instructions in game on how to do that. Like the most recent thing they added instruction wise is they created ruined portals, which sort of show you what another portal could be and gives you the idea of like, oh, maybe I can make something. But otherwise, yeah, there's very little instruction.
Yeah.
I get that. But Josh, why do you like Minecraft?
Well, I didn't think I would like it. You know, I saw it as mostly a kid's game. And it was just very, you know,
pish posh, I say.
It was just very kind of like out in the open, like Minecraft. Especially when it was at its height, you know, Minecraft.
You just like
Minecraft.
Have those slightly like anti-conformist
little
tendencies where you're like, it's not that cool. It can't possibly.
It's whatever. It's not a big deal. Just I don't want to play it. I don't need it. I don't need it. And then like you, Hunter, I was also kind of against the idea that, oh, I don't have a mission to do. I just do whatever. What kind of you know, anarchist world is this? You know, I need structure, order. But I played it with some younger cousins, and it was just more of a fun game for us to play with them. And you know, it had, you know, it's just you just get a chance to practice some creativity. Just do, you know, kind of whatever. I think that's what it makes it so appealing to kids, is that there's not any structure there. They can do whatever they want. And you know, it has little bits of, you know, danger, and you have to kind of, you know, work around certain obstacles, especially when you have to fight, you know, certain enemies like the creepers or the spiders. So it was like, okay, they got some things that can get me kind of, you know, I can sate my bloodlust a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of want us to like, I don't know if we're ever gonna to break the mold of Nerd Variety podcast and do any gaming, but maybe we should have you guys both on my realm at some point. Play Minecraft.
Would you play with us, Hunter?
For 40 minutes?
Yeah, just for 40 minutes. That's
Sure.
Yay! All right. Look forward to that at some point.
You can wash your hands as much as you want after. You can take as long as shower as you need to.
Yeah.
I will teach you the ways.
We will show you the way.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else, Josh, or should we turn it over to Hunter?
Let's turn it over to Hunter. We'll hear what they have to say.
I get to talk. Thank you.
Nothing can stop you.
Yeah, I'm too kind and polite. Thanks for that. Okay.
We love you.
So yeah, actually one thing that I forgot to mention that it's usually out of my genres for games is I don't like gosh, what would you call it? I guess that tells you how much like something like Sim City or The Sims or anything like that where you're like, I guess, micromanaging people.
Yeah, like a life simulator.
Yeah.
Sort of deal.
You control their fates.
Yeah, it always has been one of those things that just feels very complicated to me and kind of stressful, because then if something goes wrong, like sometimes you're timed on these things and you're like, well, I gotta do this, and like, wait, what's happening over here? I'm focusing on this.
To interject, I played one of the older one, like the one I think this is the original one. It was a Sim City, like 2000, or it was a PC ROM game that I played, and it was just the very pixelated city. And you had to, set it all up and create infrastructure, and then oh great, here comes a disaster. Fix it. Like, I'm just a kid.
I was gonna say, I enjoy The Sims, and I've played a good bit of like Sims 3 and 4, I think. But I definitely get that, like, it's sometimes a lot. I usually like make a character and then they get married and then they have a child, and I'm like, okay, 3 people is too many people for me to be, and I just start a new game. Like 3 people is too many. I can handle 2 people, but after that.
Yeah, and then you have like Roller Coaster Tycoon. They're all the tycoon games, whatever. Stuff like that. It's just managing things is difficult. But one that was included in Game Pass, and I didn't want to play on my Xbox because I didn't want to try this kind of game on an Xbox. It's kind of, the thing like with Halo Wars. That kind of game I would much rather do on a PC. But it's called Frostpunk. I don't know if you guys have heard of it or played it.
No.
But that one I got really into for just a minute. It was like a day, and then I would be really into it still, but I just haven't really had time to get back to it yet. Because that's one that I can imagine can get real intense. You're like in this, as it sounds, the name kind of implies, it's kind of a cyber or a steampunk type game, but
in a frozen wasteland.
Yeah. These people move, like, I don't know what the word would be. They're moving to like this frozen wasteland place, and you have like this.
Mad Max
I'm just
in the Arctic.
Losing all the words.
Mad Max. Is it Mad Max in the Arctic?
Well, I mean, kind of like, I think they're in this crevice. No, that doesn't sound right. Like this kind of walled off area. So you have limited space, I guess, but and maybe you can go outside of it. I haven't gotten that far, but it's this thing, like you start off with, okay, you have these resources around here, and you have like a little generator that can generate heat, but you need to gather more supplies to keep going. You have like a meter for how cold things are, and you can see like different areas. And then people get hungry. You have to choose to build like soup kitchen or something, and then within that it turns to, okay, people are getting hungry, and you have like 2 options. You can either add like sawdust to the food or something to make it, I guess, last longer, or make it
more
like
fiber.
Yeah, something like that. It's so like you can kind of stretch it out more.
Yeah, survival techniques.
But I think it is also people will get sicker, or maybe it's people that people will be less happy. Although I'm not entirely sure that's it. But there's also you can make it soup, which will increase something or another. Again, it's been a while. But they'll not be as happy. So it's balancing that kind of stuff. And I didn't think I was going to enjoy it, but I really got sucked into it one day.
So it sounds almost like a post-apocalyptic kind of sort of thing.
Again, it's not exactly post-apocalyptic.
Sure, but like it's a survival in like the most real.
Almost
sort of
like Oregon Trail, I guess.
Yeah,
kind
okay.
of like the very modern one.
That's what I mean when I say survival in the most real term. So like Minecraft is a survival game, kind of. You don't want to get blown up by creepers, right? But like it's still sort of this fantasy made up world where this is like a very real survival. Like
a little
you have to eat sawdust in your food because we don't have enough food otherwise.
Yeah.
Like very real.
And you can like amputate legs or just like bandage them up or something and have them like get worse, but they'll at least have all their limbs and stuff. So stuff like that, where you're also making like all these terrible choices, obviously.
Interesting.
It sounds very extreme.
Yeah, but I did enjoy it for the bit I played it.
It sounds fascinating.
It is.
It's for Xbox.
Yeah, it's on. I don't know what all it's on. Again, I play on PC because I prefer that kind of isometric view on PC over console.
Yeah, especially if you're making decisions, you want to be able to do kind of the point and click or.
Yeah, and I want to be able to.
Hotkeys are awesome.
Yeah, and I want to be able to move my mouse and not have to rely on a joystick.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. Another quick one I wanted to say is probably Undertale.
Oh, really?
Just because it's not really action-y and the style, it's very. I want to say it's kind of JRPG-ish, at least on the surface. It definitely looks like it. And my first playthrough, I made sure to do as much of a pacifist run as I could do.
Yeah.
It's difficult. Actually, it's not. You just have to be patient and not want to do combat. But yeah. That took a while, and it's good. Yeah. I have a little one. Sorry, this is the last thing I'll say.
More a little one, Hunter. I need a turn.
And this is kind of the opposite because it's more like I got into this game first, and then I realized I didn't like the genre.
But you still like that game?
Yes. Okay. Midway Games, now NetherRealm Studios, Mortal Kombat games. I loved those arcade cabinets growing up. I loved them on console. I bought just about every one, played them all, and that's like one of my favorite franchises, if not my favorite. And when they came out with Injustice, I love those. Any other fighting game, pretty much, I cannot get into. I'm not a fan.
What about like Super Smash Bros?
I'm terrible at that, and I'm not a big fan of Super Smash Brothers, but I'll play it occasionally. When it's.
I just feel like. I don't know. I feel like kind of objectively that might be the most like easily accessible fighting game.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah, I feel like for some reason Mortal Kombat's very accessible, and maybe not for everyone. I don't
know. They're all pretty long running. That one, Killer Instinct, Street Fighter.
Yeah, Killer Instinct, I don't like. Street Fighter, Tekken, never enjoyed those. I was always bad at them. The only one kind of like that I can say I get into a little more is Marvel vs. Capcom. 1 and 2, 2, and 3, not Infinite, but that one's just bad. And not a lot, but also like Dragon Ball Fighters, stuff like that. Yeah. Anyways.
So I had one more that I really did want to mention, because like I said, I'm not into horror games, but I've been sort of delving into that world a little bit more recently. Hunter and I played. We were here. Yeah, we were here a couple like last year.
I never think of We Were Here as a horror game, even though I know we've had this discussion. Yeah, especially with the
I was scared.
I just bit my tongue, so that hurt. I'm sorry.
But yeah, recently we've been playing Phasmophobia, and I played it without you, Hunter, recently. Sorry, with some other people, but now I'm more educated. So when we play again, I can help. And it is terrifying. Like it really. I mean,
have you been killed
Josh?
yet?
I have not. I have not.
'Cause,
Are you
yeah,
familiar, Josh?
No, I'm not.
So Phasmophobia is a ghost hunting game where you play with up to a group of 4, and you have all of this like ghost hunting equipment, and you walk into a house and you have to figure out which room the ghost is haunting and take pictures or get specific types of evidence to figure out what kind of ghost it is. But it will start hunting you and try to murder you.
Okay.
Yeah. And one of my favorite, simultaneously my favorite thing about it and my least favorite thing is as soon as you walk from your truck, to the front door of the house, and as soon as you walk in, like it sounds different.
Yes.
And like the atmosphere feels really oppressive. And you're just like,
I just remember
puts
the
you on
first
edge
time.
the whole time.
Is it the darkness? Does it kind of grip you?
Well,
Yeah.
I remember the first time we
ghost
went
can
into
turn off
that
light.
one room. I remember the first time we went into that one room and we just could start seeing our breath. It's like, oh, something's happening here.
Because you see your breath and you're like, oh, okay, the ghost is making this one cold, and maybe the circuit breaker will trip, and you have to go find that and turn it back on if you want any lights on.
Yeah.
And
Go off by yourself
and the more you're in the dark,
lights.
the more you're in the dark, the more you lose your sanity, and you start hearing like whispers and your heart pounding and things like that.
Yeah. And there was that.
So scary.
I'm sorry. It was just there was that moment that I will always remember when you went out to the truck and I started, like, you're like, hey Hunter, come back to the truck, and the door just closed and it locked on me and I could not open it. I'm like, Hannah, come save me, come get me, open this door right now.
No.
But it's really well done, which is impressive because I think it was only one person who made it. And like the physics are a little bit wonky at times. Like you can tell that the character animations of both the players and the ghosts are kind of hokey, but they do a really, really good job of making it scary. And one of my favorite things about it that I did get figured out, Hunter, so we'll have to try next time, is the localized chat. So like you use a voice chat, but if your characters are far enough apart, you can't hear each other using the voice chat. You have to use a walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
But the walkie-talkies will kind of like fizzle out. Yeah, the walkie-talkies will fizzle out if the ghost is attacking. So you just hear like distant screams of your friends, and you're like the walkie-talkies go out, and then you hear them screaming. You're just like, yay! But it's so cool technology-wise. I really appreciate it for that. And I've been enjoying it. But it's not. Josh is so skeptical.
Yeah. I want to put that on my list of things I will never try. right up there with the KFC game.
But I never thought I'd try it either, and I really like it. It's fun.
Yeah.
I guess if I can play with others, that'll be great.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm not
for sure
by myself. No.
I mean, also,
but there are certain ghosts you have to be alone in order to get them to respond to you.
I mean, and I'm just thinking about this, but in terms of like horror, I don't do horror a lot either, Hannah. Like, there are a couple games. There's one in particular. I have said I am not playing this again. I don't care. It's Outlast.
Oh,
I am not playing Outlast.
I've seen like full playthroughs of Outlast because I am not brave enough to play them by myself.
No.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
I don't know if you watched any of my stream. I did that like last year. I
think I did, yeah.
And it was awful. I kept dying. I could not figure anything out. I was getting so frustrated, and it was just terrifying.
Well, I think it's scary for a lot of the same reasons that Phasmophobia is scary. It's a specific type of horror game, I think, where like you really have no defense.
Yeah.
Right? So in Phasmophobia, you can hide, but you have to like stop talking and turn off your lights and hide, or you can throw a crucifix on the ground and be like, "Be gone!" But that's it. Those are your only options.
Yeah, and Outlast, like you have a video camera.
Yeah.
And you have to know when to use night vision, and you can like hide under the bed and closets.
You can run and you can hide, but that is it.
Yeah.
So it's like a whole nother level of scary because you can't protect yourself really.
I don't like that either.
Nope. So scary.
Yeah.
So the last one I have is one that I play not often now, but I've played several times. But definitely, 5 years ago, would not have picked it up off of the shelf, and didn't pick it up off of a shelf until it was suggested to me, is Borderlands. Yeah, see, Hunter's face immediately lit up.
That is
like,
Borderlands. That is one that Hunter loves to
Yeah, big fan.
rant about.
And I'm a big fan too, but it's just I don't feel like I was, other than Doom, because I've been playing Doom for a long time because my uncle played Doom.
Yes.
Never really been into first person shooters. Hunter's got their Borderlands box that they're showing off. But I walked into, I believe it was Second and Charles, and Patrick and I were recently married, or had been married about a year, I think, and we're looking for something that was multiplayer but played kind of, the best we could give them was like something that's kind of like Skyrim, because we love Skyrim. And the guy at the store pointed out Borderlands, and it was like, $12. So we're like, yeah, what the heck? And like we fell in love, and kind of for all the things that are not remotely Skyrim-y about it, like the characters and the art style and the comedy, and like from on the surface it appears to be just sort of honestly like kind of gory, a little bit gruesome,
Kind of is.
unapologetic sort of first person shooter,
but kind of cartoonish. I
Yeah.
played a little bit. I still
Yeah.
haven't beaten the games yet, but I do
Yeah.
have them.
but I really, really enjoy
Who
it.
is the best?
Yeah, for sure. But I really, really enjoy them, and it's just never something I would have picked up. And I feel like it's kind of opened my doors to a lot more first-person shooter type stuff.
Yeah.
So
I know I
think
kind of
should
burnt
do
you
that.
out pretty quickly on the third one, though.
You did, and I've been thinking about re-downloading it, but I got a new computer, and honestly, I don't know where to find it. I'm like, wait, is it in Epic Games? Is that
Well,
where
I
it
mean,
is?
yeah.
Where did I buy it? I don't
Probably.
remember.
I think it's very possible.
I think that's where my
Um,
Sims game is too, and now that we're talking about that, I want to play that again.
Yeah.
So I just need to re-download games.
The Epic launcher, I forget about a lot.
Yeah.
But also, talking about Borderlands, and that's the third one checks some boxes that are on my I don't like list. So
Really?
yeah,
And you still don't like them, or like they were okay in Borderlands?
Borderlands 3 is what is in particular it brought in some of the things I don't like, which is it takes so long in that one to get you into anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you remember the intro to that, it takes so long. Like, longer than the others, I think. You walk around, you follow Claptrap for a good while.
Yeah.
And you won't have a weapon for a bit. And then it's slow start, and then it's just... There's a lot of that. It's
Yeah, I definitely felt like I really enjoyed it when it got into the swing of things. I loved going to the different planets and like seeing all the different locations, because I feel like in the last couple of years I have really been growing as, I want to call myself like, not a game aficionado, but like really appreciating, and like
gamer.
Really appreciating like, I like got so excited when I first started playing Breath of the Wild and Link had like really fantastic barefoot slappy sounds on the floor. I was like, I love these sounds. And so I'm getting into like sounds and music and art design and all this stuff. And I love some of the locations in Borderlands. They're gorgeous.
I'm so proud of you.
Are you?
I'm so proud of your appreciation for games. And
Yeah.
sound.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
I want to figure out how to become a Foley artist. I'm sure it takes some years and years of training, but I just want to do it. It sounds so fun.
I mean, it just takes doing it.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But yeah, so, and I feel like I enjoyed a lot of the locations in Borderlands 3.
Yeah.
Maybe more than the gameplay itself.
I mean, the gameplay,
It was fun.
The gameplay was good. It was solid. It was just, again, some of the stuff, they really make you wait for the action in that game more than some of the others. But
yeah, Borderlands was probably one of the first games, especially one of the first games that's more of a first-person shooter that I played by myself. Because I'll play like, the one that comes to mind is like Black Ops Zombies, right? With my brother like 10 years ago or whatever, right? And like those sort of like Call of Duty like things where they have, it's just like rounds of people.
Yeah.
I never played any of the campaigns. Yeah. So.
Well, sorry, I almost forgot about this game, and I'm just gonna mention it. But one that I really never thought I would get into, and I have recently. I'm kind of on a break from it for a minute until I catch up on some movies. But Kingdom Hearts.
Mm.
That's one that it's so
Doesn't
intimidating.
seem
wanting to get
like
into
you would
now.
like them.
No, but yeah, I'm watching some Disney movies I haven't seen before because I'm trying to prepare myself for a lot of the story beats.
Yeah. It's good. Good. Yeah.
It's good.
Well, any final thoughts before we wrap up for today?
That was my final thought.
All right, Hunter's done. You're not allowed to say anything else. Josh. Okay, Josh isn't allowed to say anything else.
Oh, whoa. I was going to say, just try something new. You never know what you might like. And there are a lot of games that, they put in a lot of work, a lot of, mainstream games, but also a lot of indie games. Just, dabble here and there to support the
Especially, I don't know much about console gaming, to be completely honest, but especially if you're a PC gamer and you've got Steam, like, watch those Steam sales and buy a game that's $5, normally $20, and just give it a go, right? They've got good ways to check ratings, like, on the site, right? Like, just explore and have some fun. And worst comes to worst, you spend $5 and had an interesting experience.
Yeah, it's kind of like renting a movie off Amazon or somewhere, and then you watch it. You didn't want to spend $10-15 in the theater watching it, so watch it and play it for cheap.
So that's it for today. Next time, assuming that Hunter is prepared, although I don't know how much you need to prepare, we'll be doing Halloween music scenario special. Maybe? You can talk again, it's fine.
Okay. But you said
I know, I changed my mind.
Yeah, I kind of forgot that was this soon, and I've been moving and stuff. So
Halloween's next week. Luckily, I don't think you have to prepare much.
Do I not?
I don't know. You have to prepare scenarios.
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
I'll get it.
Yeah. So either that next week.
Improv.
Either that next week or something else that Hunter decides to do.
Yes.
Who knows? But until then, goodbye, everyone. Have a lovely week and nerd out.
Nerd out.
Nerd out.